Hey everybody, Michael from RogueDeckBuilder.com here doing an update video for my Enchanted junk deck. We made quite a few changes and this deck now works 10,000 times better. I posted the sort of a primer onto the Spikes subreddit on reddit.com, and surprisingly they were, a lot of the people that commented on it loved the idea. They loved what I was trying to do, roadblock, burn, and aggro decks, and still have some ways of hitting the other decks as well. And they gave me some great advice. I changed up the deck quite a bit, and it works much better now. I downloaded a program called Cockatrice, odd sounding name, I know, but it is a program that allows you to pretty much play Magic the Gathering online without having to use the MTGO program and pay for your cards. It's just a free way to play Magic online. It has a very good population. I mean, there's always about 400 some people online, and there's always people playing, so it's very good. And it's a little bit better than Untap.in, which is a little bit more clunky. It's not as big of a population on it. So yeah, really love the program so far. It takes a lot of getting used to, but I will probably make videos with it, just because it's a way where I don't have to bother Kevin or Morton, and they're busy people. I don't have to trade cards with them or anything like that, and it just allows me to play whenever I want, with whatever deck I want, with whatever cards I want. So I mean, I will probably actually make a video about Cockatrice, just because some of you guys might be interested in testing decks or playing more online, but can't afford playing both paper and Magic Online like me. So it's a very nice free alternative to playing Magic Online. It allows you to get some practice in. Takes some getting used to, but I'll make a video about how to use Cockatrice, how to get it running, and things like that. Just so if you guys are interested in that, then definitely feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll get on that right away. But yeah, the very first match I went up against on Cockatrice was a burn matchup, which was absolutely awesome, and this deck performed exactly how I thought it would, and this version is superb against my last version. So let's get on with the changes. Made quite a few changes. Added an Elspeth for an extra win condition. Many of the people that gave me some advice said that I should have another win condition, and Elspeth is great. Surprised I didn't think of it before, but again, it gives another way for us to attack with our creatures. It as well as it gives us another way of defending ourselves. If they have like a Pelucranos and a Stormbreath Dragon down, it gives us a way to partially board wipe them and sort of get back in the game. The sweet thing about this is we can, the ultimate isn't isn't something that we have to hit if we have something like Archangel of Thune on board. So if we just create tokens when we have Archangel of Thune on board, those tokens are going to get very large, very fast. When I was playing the burn matchup, there was a time where I had two Nyx Fleece Rams and two Nyx Fleece Rams, a Courser, and an Archangel of Thune on board. And then next turn I played two Underworld Coinsmiths. So in total that was 4 separate triggers of life gain. So I got 4 1/1 counters on all my creatures, and that made my opponent concede very quickly. But yeah, turn 5 and up is when this deck really goes off, especially if we have Archangel of Thune on board. So like, we are expecting a longer game with this deck anyways, so Elspeth is a perfect win condition for that, since we'll likely draw it, especially since we added in Underworld connections. So another thing is I did cut down on instances. We are, removal is great, and I think this is a perfectly fine amount of removal. I was told that I had a little bit too much removal. I think I had 11 or so instances that were just removal spells. So this is actually much better, and it worked much better with the rest of what we have. The Abrupt Decay is definitely important, especially when decks still are playing, Detention Sphere and Courser of Kruphix, hits all those cards, and those are cards we don't want to go against. So works really well in that sense, as well as it does make room for our Underworld Connections, which is a great card in this deck, because we were expecting it's another card that I was very surprised I didn't think of first, but it worked extremely well, even in the burn matchup. Even when you're paying life for cards, because we're getting so much life over the course of the game, we're allowed to turn that life into cards, which is absolutely insane for Underworld Connections. And I really like this in this deck, as opposed to, like, I know it works really well in like Mono Black Devotion, but they're not really gaining life like over the course of the game. They only get one source of life gain through Gray Merchant or possibly Whip sometimes. So there comes to a point where they sometimes have to just stop drawing cards. In our deck, I have the ability to just every single turn utilize Underworld Connections because we just need one Nyx Fleece Ram, and we're essentially negating the life loss from Underworld Connections. Even in the burn matchup, I had 2 mana confluences on the board plus Underworld Connections, and I still easily won that game. And over the course of that game, we ended up gaining 10 plus life, which definitely sets that deck back. We were close to dying, but we weren't dead yet, and I was still able to keep using Underworld Connections and keep drawing into more ways to get more life, and eventually I hit Archangel of Thune, and that was just the game ender. So Underworld Connections works beautifully in this deck. I don't like having 2 in my hand though, and there's a lot of times where I sometimes don't like having 2 on board. There's much better ways we can utilize our mana, and just having 1 I think is fine. If we have the life to supplement 2, then that's all right as well. But I don't like drawing 1 in my opening hand a lot of the time, and I also don't like drawing 1 when I already have 1 in my hand and haven't casted it yet. So three I find is working perfectly, and it's an absolute killer in this deck for sure. What else did we change? For creatures, I did knock down the Archangel Thune back to 2 since we did add Elspeth as another win condition. So back down to 2 Archangel Thune and 2 Obzidot as our main win conditions. I also got rid of the Grim Guardians to make room for the Underworld Connections and Elspeth. Grim Guardians just was sort of underperforming. We do have a lot of enchantments and stuff like that to trigger him, but at the same time, more often than not, we're going to be winning the game with Archangel Thune, Obzidot, Elspeth, or just like growing our creatures. Like Chorus of Krufix usually ends up being like a 4/6 or something once we have Archangel Thune on board. So like those cards end the game just by beating our opponent down as it is. So Grim Guardian grinding your opponent down 1 point of health with our enchantments wasn't that great for what he costed. Like we already have quite a few things in the 3-drop slot, whether it's Hero's Downfall, Banishing Light, Underworld Connections, or Courser of Krufix. So there's already a lot of ways we can utilize our mana for that spot. So I didn't really want Grim Guardian as another third mana thing to utilize. Plus, I mean, if we do want to grind down our opponent, we do have Underworld Coinsmith to just help with that. And I'm loving Underworld Coinsmith. Is a very underrated card, I think. And I definitely hope people pick it up. I could definitely see it being in a humans type deck. It is in competition with like Cartel Aristocrat, but I mean those cards are going to be rotating out. So Underworld Coinsmith, this card's a beast. It's a very nice way for us to start getting incremental life early on, and it is another way for us to get some damage in when we have nothing else to do with our mana. It's a way for us to start grinding them down to make Archangel Thune hits or Obzidot hits much more effective. So that's all the changes I made in the main board. In the sideboard, where we actually made quite a few changes. Sideboard, someone posted their sideboard, and I adapted some of their changes, and his version was a lot better with some of the ways that I was going. Cut out the miscutters. Didn't really feel like they were that great. I mean, with our hand disruption and everything like that, as long as we can get certain cards to stick, like Obzidot, we're probably going to be winning the game against control anyways. Miscutter helps with that, but at the same time, I mean, we can still get Supreme Verdicted, and I don't know. I think I would much rather play like Blood Baron or something like that, and just because Mono Black is one of our hardest matchups, and so it gives us a way to just run that player down, as well as it is another way for us to trigger life for our Archangel of Thune, which is awesome. Also added the 2 Deoseed. Surprised I didn't add that before, but it's a way for us to just have enchantment hate, essentially. Gives us a way to kill off Thassa and things like that as well, since those are very problematic cards for us. And allows us to save our Banishing Lights for other things as well. Extra Devour Flesh for black-white mid-range and things like that, where we have to have answers to cards like Blood Baron or Obzidot. Those cards are a little bit hard for us to deal with as well, so just another way for us to remove things is nice. One thing I did notice about Devour Flesh is which is actually pretty sweet, is if you look at all of our creatures, they have very large toughness, and a lot of the times I'll have a Sylvan Caryatid out early to ramp into like an Archangel of Thune, but then mid or late game, like Sylvan Caryatid doesn't really do anything, so I'll actually end up devour fleshing my own Sylvan Caryatid to get a trigger off of Archangel of Thune and get 1/1 counters on all our guys, and that's a very cool interaction that I didn't realize till I played this deck, so pretty sweet there. 3 Duress, I didn't change that. 1 Erebos, I didn't change that. 2 Golarion was another card that I totally overlooked, but I was glad someone recommended it to me. It's a better way for us to combat Supreme Verdict, since we did get rid of our Rootborn defenses, as well as it is a way for us to kill off 1/1 tokens. So opposing Elspeth tokens or Assemble Legion, since I do feel Assemble Legion might come back, or Young Pyromancer tokens, or any 1/1 tokens, or even like Weenie decks. We'll include this as another way for just to board wipe them potentially. Get rid of their Daring Skyjacks and Dryad Militants, Soldier of the Pantheons, yada yada yada. It is another way for us to destroy enchantments as well. I mean, enchantments are going to be becoming much more prominent, or much more relevant in the coming weeks when Journey of Nyx comes out. So having another way to get rid of Course of Krufix or any other problematic, Night Howler or any other very impactful enchantments, it allows us to get rid of them. 2 Sin Collector and 1 Whip of Erebos. I don't think I'd change those. But yeah, sideboard was where we made the most changes, but we did make some very drastic changes in the main board, which are very, very useful. And yeah, that is the changes. This is absolutely a super fun deck to play and very, 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 very effective. Surprisingly, I actually didn't think it would work this well, but it's actually proving to be quite a fun deck to play, and definitely looking forward to see how it evolves in the coming weeks. I know I said my Bant deck was going to be my pet deck, but I think this deck might take that spot. I mean, we already made a huge drastic change to the Bant deck, making it a Bant Hexstow deck. Bant Bestow with Hexproof, essentially. And I don't think I need to make too many changes to this, actually. But this is another deck I'm going to test out on Cockatrice, and we'll see how it works out there. But I'll start making videos with this Enchanted Junk deck. And again, if you guys are interested to see how Cockatrice works, or if you guys are interested in Cockatrice yourself, if you want to start testing decks online, not want to pay for MTGO or anything like that, then let me know in the comments, and I will definitely make a introductory video to Cockatrice, as well as, I mean, I might just make it anyways, but I mean, if more people want it right away, I'll probably put it out sooner than just waiting on it. So let me know in the comments below, as well as let me know if you have, of course, any more suggestions for this deck. I feel this deck is in a pretty good spot right now, but of course, everything changes, the meta changes, who knows. I'm definitely open to most suggestions people have. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.